Aloha! Hey, it's Julie Ziemelis and
Lance Owens.
And I'm 365 Hawaii, and then now our name is Hawaii Group, as Eric and I continue with our real estate career. And Lance is not only the president of the Association of Realtors, he also works with LUVA Real Estate, and we've been doing this now for about, 3 years?
I think longer than that, but at least 3.
At least that, yeah. So if you guys,
I got a hat last month, I think.
That's
For
right.
My anniversary. Should have wore it today. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's interesting because when you guys are going to hear the market update, this is I think our third or fourth spring together, and every time, at least in the last 3 or 4 years, we keep talking about, it's just getting more busy.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you guys a lowdown on what's going on with the housing market, and also I just want to do a little plug. We are also filming this on YouTube, and if you're over on the YouTube side, if you want to be on the live side, go to move to Kona365.com and click Join Ohana, and then you'll be able to get into the private Facebook groups if you are not currently working with a realtor. So if you are working with a realtor, we're giving you guys some great free information on the internet, but if you want to be able to ask questions and to actually connect with us live and also do Zoom calls, join us over on the Facebook group. So with that, let's...
We got people chiming in already. Brad says, aloha, Lance.
Hey,
Julie,
aloha.
and Eric.
Yay, Brad.
And Lori says, aloha from Oklahoma. And
Yay,
Brad
Lori.
says, I'm here for the gold star.
Yeah, see it
Lori
works.
says, aloha.
There you go. And those
Hey,
of you
guys.
on YouTube don't understand that because you're not on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
So, Lance, let's jump right in and tell us what's going on in West Hawaii.
All right. Let's jump right in the numbers. That's
Yep.
it. We're going to go just face
Right,
face
and
first.
then
man.
we're going to tell some stories about what's happening in the market that Lance wants to bring you guys up to speed on. And there's a really interesting one that I wanted to remind you that you were going to talk about, that leasehold experience.
I am. Okay, I will.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Okay, we're going to jump into home sales really quick. So for March 2022, our home sales, we were at 49 home sales last month. So that was down from 72 from a year ago March, which we know was a phenomenal year. So that put us at a 32% decrease in the number of homes sold. It's not for lack of interest; it's for lack of inventory. Is a big problem. We keep talking about that. We've seen some different places talk about, no, there's so many buyers that's your problem. You've got inventory, but we don't have inventory. It's clear here. No inventory, so we're not able to sell it. 49 homes sold last month. Interestingly, I got up this morning and looked at the internet to see what was available. 49 homes available for sale in Kona this morning. So we have exactly 1 month's supply of homes for sale.
Now, some people who are joining us haven't been around for a long time watching the market in general. What is normal? If a normal market existed, how many homes sell in 1 month?
No, well, normally we'd have 50 to 60 homes selling in a month, depending, could be 65 if it's strong, a little bit less. But normally we'd have about 150 homes to choose from. So that's that's where the big difference is. We'd have 150 to choose from.
Yeah.
We got 49.
Okay, so you guys hear that one?
So, yeah. So that's not good.
Right. And then you're still seeing people with multiple offers on those homes.
Multiple offers. We were showing property for a client the other day, and we were showing property that was, it was an interesting property. It had the opportunity for 3 different studio type rentals. It was listed at, I think, somewhere around $950, but we were going through it and it needed some work. There were some issues with it. Most of it was really cute, but a lot of it, there was some termite damage and some work that needed to be done. And when the realtor's just like, we've got 12 offers on it, it's like, where do you go? How much do your buyers want to go over? How much do they have to afford to fix the concern? So we ended up not writing an offer on that property.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. So, we went, again, the next day, we went and showed another property that was in that same price point that was very clean. It had, not issues, but just things that weren't a master bedroom that was small. It had a single sink in it. It had the rental downstairs had a huge master bedroom in it with double sinks and a huge shower and everything else. So it was kind of weird that your tenant would have a much nicer place than you would have.
Because then we can get more money downstairs.
Yeah, they can get more money downstairs. And that had 5 offers on it in the first 48 hours.
There you go.
So, it's kind of hard. You talk to people and they're like, well, where do we go? What do we do? And we kind of, as a rule of thumb, use a 10% over if you've got multiple offers going in type of thing. But each place is different. You got to look at it. That's just a rough estimate off the top. So, again, when you got 12 offers or 5 offers in the first 48 hours, you obviously got to go in over. If you're a week or two in and they haven't accepted any offers yet, you might go in at list or at even a little bit less. I actually pulled up numbers just to share with the client that looked at what had sold in that price point last month. We looked at one was as low as 90% of the asking price, and one was 131% of the asking price.
Wow.
So, again, you got to look at each one individually, and you really got to dig in and do your homework on
Right,
it.
right.
So.
And one thing that's, I don't know, I think a variety of you have actually purchased a home before in your life, but getting those comps, right, and then understanding from what's happening around you, really understanding what is going on with the market so you can make an intelligent decision about how much money you want to go over, right? If you have to go over, then you're going to say, okay, is this, because also,
do I go 130%? I go 90%?
Right, but if you only go 90, you might lose it. So it's,
there's
definitely a dance there. Okay, so we're talking strategy again. If you have been with us a long time, we do this ADD experience with this market report. So what's also happening with pricing or condos?
Pricing, so let's jump into pricing on the homes real quick. So year to date, we're up just over 20% on over last year to date on median home price. But if we go month over month, month over month meaning March of last year, March of this year, we're only 7% over the median price of what it was.
Oh.
So something to keep an eye on. We always like to say, it's we want to keep an eye on it. We look for any abnormalities that are going on or anything happening, and so again, you can't always do the month over month. You got to look when you're 4 months in or 3 months into the year. You kind of start looking at the year. And with that said, again, we're at 20% over the beginning of last year.
Okay, so 20%. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, did you also talk about the condos?
Nope, we haven't talked about the condos yet.
Okay, so those are single family, the ones you talked about before.
Everything we just talked about was single family homes. Again, 49 sold, 49 are active today. So we got 1 month's worth of inventory. Median price right at $1 million, $999.
Okay, so that's
year to date
number,
was $1,075,000 is our
$1,075,000
is the median price for year to date.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I think we got everything on homes. Let's jump into condos. So condos, and did we tell you guys at home? I know you guys. This report we put it up on the announcement that Julie put on there about that. So there's a link to the report. So
that's another little benefit that these guys over here in Facebook land get that you guys in YouTube land don't unless you join my Ohana unit. Okay.
You have access to all the numbers,
the facts and figures,
absorption rate, everything else. So it's not too hard to figure out absorption rate if you've only got the exact same amount that's sold.
That's sold, yeah. So it's like
listed. So we're over 100 on absorption rate. So jumping into condos. So condominiums, this year we sold 33 in March.
Yeah.
Okay, that's down 60% from
Wow.
last year. We sold over 80 last year. So that's really interesting. 60% drop. Once again, it's not for lack of interest; it's lack of inventory. Yeah. Anybody want to guess how many condos are active today? Guess. How many
30.
condos are active? 33 condos are active today on the market. 33 sold last month.
So again,
it's the first time I've seen it
off.
hand in hand that both condos and lands are both the exact same number. So there's 30 days inventory on either one of them.
Wow. And healthy is 3 months worth of inventory. Is it usually a healthy market? Yeah. So there it is. Okay, but get this. Would you say that one of the reasons that a lot of inventories, especially condos, aren't coming on the market is because a lot of people put their houses on the market to hit the snowbirds that were here in December, January, February, and now
I don't think so. I think pandemic threw all that off. I don't think so. I get that question a lot. People are wanting, is there more coming on? Is there more being held off?
Yeah.
People that want to sell now. Okay. Especially I think anybody that had kind of what do they call that? Where they just had they finally Hawaii just opened its borders up, even to mainland people. For people that refused to get vaccinated and that didn't want to do the test, they can finally come without having to do either one. So that may be something we want to watch out for. Somebody that had a condo here maybe wants one last hurrah, wants to come in, see what they're doing, and get out. We don't know. But it's I think we have just sold them all with so many of them selling a year ago, and so little on the market right now. I don't know. I don't
Well,
think that's it. But
so here's a little, tidbit. So Eric has a woman that has been thinking about selling her condo for 2 years, and again, now that things look like they're getting easier, it's easier for her to come here. She's a little bit older, so now it's kind of like more safer to travel, you could say.
Yeah.
And she's going to have her last hurrah. And she's going to clean out the condo, and she's going to put it on the
There
market.
we go.
So Eric Ziemelis will have his own listing coming up pretty quick here.
yeah.
So
And that's good. So maybe that's something. It's kind of I just thought of that as we were.
There we
as
go.
were
The
sitting there
last
talking.
hurrah
So,
inventory spike.
Yep. Or lack today.
Okay, so we got a couple people chiming in. Lance Bond says, "Aloha, Julie, Eric, and Lance."
Aloha.
And Sally says, "How likely are sellers to accept a contingent offer in the $800 to $1.3 million range?"
Contingent on the sale of another property in another state.
Yeah.
Very slim. But we just got an offer on one of our listings like that. It actually was for a sale here in Hawaii. We just got an offer like that today, which our client's not going to accept.
So you know that they're not going to accept that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, we play with the idea that if that was the only offer that was coming in, they probably would. But if they have 10 other offers that are going to be easier to deal
Right.
with, they're going to probably pick
Yeah.
that one instead, right?
Yeah, we've already had one other offer, and that offer fell out just due to the reason that the people. You guys saw the property that we listed on here a week or two ago, the 5 acres with the animals and the older house, plantation style house.
Is that the $2 million one?
No, listed at 1.4 million.
Okay, and then what happened?
And I put it on there. So, anyways, the buyers wanted to do another home on the property, and this was a CPR property. So CPR's condominium property regime, and what's happened is it's one big parcel that was already split into 3 parcels, so they can't do another home on the property. They can't do another ag home on the property.
Oh, so this is they found that out. They didn't
They
want
found
the
that
property
out,
anymore.
so they pulled out.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So there was nothing wrong with the property. There was nothing wrong with the pricing. We'll see. So
Yeah.
our second offer has a contingency on it. So Sally, my answer is I don't believe they would.
Yeah. Well, if I can plug something, I don't know if
Yeah.
this, Sally, I don't know if this is your idea of a good time home, but one of our realtor partners, Delania, has a home that was on the market for 1.5, and they lowered it to 1.3, and they'd be willing to take a little less than that because they realized that the house had been priced a little too aggressively in the front, and now people think something's up with it because now they're trying to drop the price, which was a. So now somebody can probably go in there and negotiate pretty well with that house. So that house is actually on the group. If you guys see it, it's in South Kona. So.
And one thing we always talk about too is to gauge the market. I look at look what's happening with our Caravan meetings and things like that. So for you guys new, Caravan is where every Thursday realtors get together and they caravan. They don't actually really caravan, but they go caravanning. Yeah, they used to. And go out to the different properties and new listings. So the realtors that are successful show up to these meetings. You can see that most of the people who are there are your big hitters that know because they want to know the market. So they go out and they visit all these listings, and when their phone rings or something, they've seen that listing. They know what's going on. So we've had 2, 3, 1 a month. A week when this happens, and we had 8 today. So
8?
that was strong. 8 homes on Caravan today.
That's good. That means a little more inventory.
Yeah, it means a little bit more inventory picking up, although it's only 49 homes.
Yeah. Well,
there's
we gotta look for those
but-
glimmers of hope they're in the market.
But typically, if they've put it on Caravan, it has to be put on by Tuesday, and so that means the listing had to come out between Thursday today and Tuesday of next week for it to be put on the Caravan for next Thursday. And any of them that were put on were already in escrow by then.
Oh.
And so there was 8 properties today that weren't in escrow that were available to go look at.
Okay.
And see. So that is a good sign that we get
I
some
call a
normality.
softening a little bit in the market.
Okay. I mean,
You're not too sure you see that yet.
like I say, in the last 3 weeks, we've been in 3 offer situations, and all of them have had multiple offers, and they've all been over. So,
Yeah, it's weird because they said that Fannie Mae released today that buyer sentiment was at 24% to think it was a good idea right now to buy a house,
Mm-hmm.
and they said it was the lowest amount they've ever had since they started keeping records on that, polling people about what they thought about was to buy a home.
Yeah.
And if enough buyers say, you know what, I'm not playing the game,
Yeah,
right?
that's all it
then-
takes.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be anything physical happen.
You know,
There has to be enough people
if buyers say, you know what, I
perceive
ain't
it.
doing it, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden sellers go, oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
right? Then things will
Yeah.
change in the
Yeah.
market. But if the buyers, if the sellers consistently see other people with houses with 18 offers on it, then they hold firm on their price, and yeah,
And
so
they hold on and go out there. So you say the multiple offers coming in on these properties, but then somebody, it's kind of interesting because it's been a stepping stone over the last year. It's the condo sold. We always use Elite Elani for our go-to place. Sold for $460 in November or October, November, and then it went to $470. Nobody'd seen that before. Then it went to $500. Nobody's like, wow, $500, and then it went to $530, $540, $550. There's been $560 in there.
Oh, good Lord.
So it is, you just, everything's a stepping stone, and people have been used to that and pricing it. That sounds like that's what happened on the listing you were just referring to.
Yeah, because as soon as it goes,
let's
it
go to
just
the
goes
next
up.
step.
Yeah, let's see if we can get
instead
it,
of going
right?
what's at today's market.
In
So,
fact, Eric used
it's
to
interesting.
work at Kona Sea Village. It's called Kona Sea Village, right?
Just Sea Village.
Just Sea Village, and that used to run, I don't know, 400,000 or 500,000, maybe 400,000 or 500,000, because everything basically has an ocean view. And what did you just recently see when listed?
962.
962.
it's probably in their escrow already, isn't it?
It came on. They were going to accept our. I want to see how fast it goes on.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Oceanfront, there's only so many oceanfront units.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
one's nice.
Yeah.
So
We
so,
had a call on that unit. So, yeah. Yeah. So,
And so it's almost like I don't know. It's this game of chicken. I think that buyers have to say, "Am I buying at the top? And am I going to pull back and watch what happens?" And as soon as a bunch of people do that at the same time,
Yep.
then things change.
Yep.
Because I've seen that in Silicon Valley market twice or three times. So
well, and the big thing we're seeing, and I always, I keep saying this, read my lips, guys, I've said for over a year now, don't do your escalation clauses. I've watched time and time again that people get in these escalation clauses and they say, oh, shit, I paid too much. It's like, I just, and so they want it back. They get in the escalation clause, they win, and all of a sudden, okay, that's over with, I won, now what? Oh, wait a minute, I felt the property was worth $1 million, but I put a $50,000 escalation clause on it. Now, I already thought it was only worth $1 million. I won, now I got to get that 50 grand back by my home inspection or something else that they go into. So I
Right,
see time and time again for a year now, properties falling out because of that reason. So,
there you go. So that's why it's important, I think, even though I know it takes a little bit more effort for the realtor to do this, but ask for the backup offer, right?
do the backup offer
Yeah.
and get it written and get it in there, but to make the call to the listing agent, and look, is that listing agent somebody who's been around for 10, 15, 20 years, Are they experienced? Do they know? Is it a brand new agent? How much experience do they have? We were all brand new at one time, so I was there, I made mistakes. So you want somebody in a market this hot and this strong, you want somebody that's got experience, and have them get with their broker, if they're going to work with them or there's somebody newer, just make sure that you get the broker involved that's working with you that has experience.
Yeah, because sometimes an escalation clause might get you into more trouble than being the winner is worth.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
people, they won and they've got 45 days now to figure out how to get back that 50 grand. It's not like, it reminds me of car sales. It's like you get them in the moment, you get them excited, and they sign on the dotted line and they leave, and they don't have time to back out. They wake up in the morning and slap themselves in the head and say, what did I just do? But in real estate, they wake up in the morning and say, oh, I got 45 days to get out, and I've got 14 pages worth of contingencies in the state of Hawaii, and let me figure out how I've got to renegotiate this. So
Right.
escalation clauses are terrible.
There you go. You're here to hear from this guy.
Okay, so on our little chat going on, we got Sally says send her the information on that one, is what
Okay.
she says. And Evie says,
Hey, Evie.
aloha, Lance,
Hey,
Eric, and
aloha.
Julie, and Jay is watching as well.
Oh, Jay.
Awesome, you guys.
Yeah, there we go.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, Jay's just making sure that she got such a great deal.
Marla jumped in. Marla,
Hi, Marla. Marla's
she
our
says,
wonderful mortgage partner.
Fear of missing out, FOMA, is a huge motivator.
FOMO.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
like
just
it.
it. So that's driving the market too. It's almost
Yeah.
like watching people buy gold in a rising market. You feel like an idiot, or Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to I didn't want to at the dinner table. Oh, didn't you get your Bitcoin? Oh, didn't you get your new house in 2021? Oh,
Yeah. So we really gotta watch it and see.
Yeah. Okay, so can you?
Well, I never
babble?
jumped into the median prices. I'm sorry.
Yes,
It's just
okay.
Condominiums median price. We told you it was how far it was off my numbers
but what's
again
the
because
price?
lack of inventory. But median price, it was 4.25 last year. It's 5.45 this year.
Okay.
So $100,000, $120,000 increase in the median price on that. So year to date they are up 21%. Month over month they're up 28%.
No, wow. Okay.
So-
and then on terms of like the market, in terms of South Kona and South Kahala, just give people an opportunity, because the house I mentioned to Sally was in South Kona. What's the median price of a house in South Kona right now?
South Kona median price is $775. I know that off the top of my head, but
Okay.
I'm now you got me thinking. I'm checking. South Kona residential $885. I'm sorry, $865. $865.
Okay. Okay.
So Tammy's watching and she says, "Aloha, gang. Dave and I are learning from seeing the people FOMA eating in real time." And then Brad go with it says, "I'm owing," which is I'm already missed out.
I already missed out, dude. I get that.
I know it.
Now the rest of us are going like this. Did it crest yet?
Yeah.
So, okay. So South Kahala.
South Kahala median residential home price $796. It was $745 last year.
Okay. And some good news, I think, a little bit, about the South Kahala market, which includes the Waikoloa Village Department. They did approve 500 homes. How many? 500?
It's the timeshares, 900.
Oh, okay.
timeshares,
So it's not Waikoloa
But
Village.
some
it's
affordable
down.
housing.
254 multi-generational houses and 50 regular houses and some workforce houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they've decided to convert the golf course down there, one side of the golf course, into housing, right? And so there's going to be way too many timeshares, in my opinion. But they are going to build single-family homes, and so at least there's some movement on that. But I also didn't I hear something about some of them being built in Waikoloa Village yet? There's a whole bunch. No, that didn't go through. Because there is a whole section of Waikoloa Village that is supposed to happen. But okay, so at least that the King's Golf Course is now going to be converted into some housing. So, yeah.
That'll be good.
Take it where
I
we
know,
can get it.
I came through in a blast. As president of the association, I got an email on that, that, hey, we're super excited because we supported it, not for the timeshare part of it, but for the housing part of it. So
Yeah, okay. So, well, and I guess with the timeshare
right?
thing,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's 900 timeshares,
it creates more workforce, that we
Well,
need
that's
down
just
there.
it. So that's just it. Then you have to sometimes clean all of that. And
Yeah.
So, and Marla says, "Awesome, we need housing for our service industry residents."
Exactly. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Is we need people. These people coming in and buying these. One of the sales last month was $27 million. It was cash, and these people need people to
run those estates.
To run the estates. They need the pool cleaner. They need the lawn guy. They need the cleaner. They need the electrician to keep things going. They need all these people. The people to run all that. I'm sure it's got some super security system and some high tech, all this high tech electronics, and they need people to run all that. And there's nobody here to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully, we get this workforce housing going.
Yeah. In fact, I threw my son out to do some extra work in the world. I said the guy needs to raise some money to go to Oahu for his soccer thing, and I said he's willing to do whatever you need. And I had so many older women begging for landscaping help.
Yeah.
They go, we can't get a decent landscaper, and he will actually do the work more than one or two times. Yeah. And this one woman, she's like, oh, can somebody just pot some flowers for me? And I'd say, and I love my son. He's going to actually help mow a lawn and do some hedge trimming, and he's going to help move some furniture for Jay. But he's like, oh, I won't put my hands in the soil. I won't. Welcome to Hawaii.
I lost my second set of landscapers just
did?
recently because, I don't ask for a lot. I've got, Kimmy and I are on 3 acres, and the horses, this is all, we bulldozed it and reshaped it and a lot of things, put the soil down. So the horses rocks are always coming up to the soil, like a lot of rocks. It looks like a landmine went off sometimes when you look out there, and I go through and I pick up these rocks all the time. So my landscapers, I got like 5 of them out there paying them all $25 an hour cash, and ask them to pick up rocks. And I'm talking about big rocks, guys. I'm talking about little rocks that just get pushed up through the soil that you tear up your lawnmower. They quit calling me. They're like, no. They quit returning my call. I'm like, getting paid $25 an hour times 5 of you guys. Sometimes there's 6 to pick up some rocks and some buckets and just throw them along the fence line. You don't even do anything with them. And they grumble, I don't even have them take away the waste. I'm like, no, put it in the corner. I'll let it mulch myself on our property, because it is a pain here with taking the waste. And if you're commercial, you got to go all the way out to Waikoloa, I think, now. And so I'm like, no, put it in the corner. I'm good with that. But yeah.
I hate to say that, dealing with landscaping is like dealing with teenagers.
But even my landscapers don't want to get their hands dirty.
Exactly. It's like,
I don't get it.
Yes, you have to bend down and pick that up.
Sorry.
I know. Goodness. Oh, my goodness.
So, in the meantime, Brad says we need more excavators. Is what he says.
Yes, Brad. Are we going to go in on a bunch of them or what? That's
I'm
what
telling you, there's a thing for that.
We got our cesspool thing coming
up.
We need to get them over here.
So, are those island statistics?
Oh no, that was just ours.
Oh, okay, I just want to see, because some
there.
people on this feed like to say, well, if I can't live in West Hawaii, can you give us the update on what's going on the other side of the island? But you know what we do with that, you guys? In 2 weeks, we have our TTT, which is our third Thursday at 3. And we bring in different realtors from around the island to talk about the different market segments around the island. So we do cover what's happening on their parts of the island, but that one is a Zoom call. And I will send you guys the link so you guys can be part of that. And that way you can actually ask questions that we can actually hear you and talk to you. And so you can bring all your different kinds of questions that you want to know about real estate and what's happening with the market to that meeting. But I do still encourage those of you on Facebook to write your questions. And also, if the broadcast is over today and you're seeing this later, go ahead and still drop your questions, and Lance and I will take a look at that and see if we can help you guys out and answer those questions.
Absolutely. I saw Amber was she liked the video, so she's out here to give you all that information.
Yeah.
Too,
and
so.
she'll tell you, obviously, it's cooking over there too.
Yeah.
But the 2 things I think are important: strategy and having cash.
Sure. Okay, so let's jump into that.
Okay.
I'm going to just jump into the market real quick, because that always comes up every client that come in or every new agent that I work with, because as president, we introduce the newbies, kind of have a meeting with them every month and talk to them. And so of the homes that sold last month, only 1/3 of them are cash.
Okay.
So 2/3 were financed.
Okay.
And,
here's to Marla for that one.
And on the condos, half of them are cash and half of them are financed. So if you remember, I think a few months ago it was 2/3 or 3/4 of the condos were cash. So we're seeing a little bit of that. Is a little bit of shift in that. So again, we'll watch. That fluctuates constantly, so we'll keep an eye on that. And just to look at the market overall as a realtor, we have 907 realtors on the island on West Hawaii right now. Any guess how many properties sold in West Hawaii last month? Total land
200
sales
300
302 sold. 605 realtors went home without a paycheck. And I just bring that up because we had somebody in the group that just got kicked out recently that was using 2 realtors to do 2 separate properties and 2 different offers at the same time. And you need to know that 600 people worked hard this month or last month and went home without a paycheck. So,
right.
It's hard. A lot of people writing a lot of offers and
not getting the deals.
And not getting the deals. So.
Yeah. In fact, there's people in this group that have been actively looking and have written up to 5, sometimes 5 or 6 offers before they finally find a home. And the good news, though, is that Delania got one of our people in the group into escrow today.
Awesome.
So that was good. So we always like to see people winning the real estate game.
Yes.
Getting in. And also, you guys, one of the things that, Eric and Lance, we all work as a team together. If you are watching this and you do want to see what is on the market, we can put you on the listing alert. And Eric and I are actually offering Zoom calls to chat with you about moving to Hawaii and answer questions about neighborhoods and things. And then we kind of just see where you're thinking, and we can put you with one of our realtor partners if it's not something that looks like it's in our wheelhouse to be able to help you with. So we are connectors to amazing people around the island, and we get you the expert that you need to close your deal.
in knowing, and real quick too, and knowing that, knowing how we all work together, there still is a courtesy that we kind of all do to each other, and we take care of each other. I know there's been a time like where Kimmy and I couldn't get out to Waikoloa to get something done, and Janet jumped in there and do it, and it's something that we handle internally between us all on how.
Who's busy, who's in the middle of something. Yeah.
So we get referrals between, and but we work it out between us all, and it's a good, happy thing. So we just hope if anybody does that you work it out through Julie, or make sure that we all are working on the same thing together.
Yep.
So Marla is chiming in, and she says, we have some new strategies to help buyers to get their offers accepted. Plan to come to the TTT for that information. Sally will connect you with that soon.
Awesome. Cool. Very cool.
Good. Yay. Yeah. In fact, we were talking about this, Eric and I, when we went to the mainland for a seminar in like August. They were talking about these different kinds of bridge loans. So that way you could still make an offer on a house here while not having to have already closed the house that you're trying to leave on the mainland. Yeah. So I don't know if there's been like, maybe whatever Marlo's going to do, but that's always been kind of this, how do I not go houseless while I'm waiting? Well, I had to sell my house, and now I don't know where I'm going to go, and then I have to move to Hawaii, and then I have to like fight against 18 other offers in a housing market that's hot. What's the strategy there? And
you know, it's really cool because Scott and Marla, in one of our TT meetings, I think it was just a month ago. I think it was last month, maybe 2 months at the most. But one of the people in the meeting kind of had that questions, and kind of Scott and Marla directed them in the right direction. They're in escrow on a condo right now, and it should close within 2 to 3 weeks. They were able to help them, and there's some really, really creative ways to do things. Don't just think I can only borrow on this or I can only borrow on that. There's very creative ways to get into a home.
Yeah,
and between everybody.
Yep. And one thing I like about referring people to the Winnemegan team is that they'll sit down and talk strategy. And it's the amount of intelligence and strategizing to use your money in the best way, and also get yourself in a plan so that you can get your goal of home ownership accomplished. Yeah. These guys are top notch.
And I like, because it's not a sales pitch, it's an educational thing. Like, here's some options, go look at it and see what's best for you.
Yeah.
So this was cool.
Yep.
All right.
So any other questions?
Eric's not even giving us the wrap up. I'm surprised.
You guys are early.
We're early.
Well, I'll give you guys a little bit of update for those of you who are not on the island right now. We have been having some foggy days because the volcano is really, that lake is just cooking down at the caldera. And also we've been having this like unseasonably cold, like rainy weather. It's great, obviously, for the plants to grow, but it's when we do get hot, beautiful, sunny days, it's a good day. And sometimes you take it for granted. And this week has been one of those weeks that it's like, waiting for the sun to come back out again.
Waiting for that sun.
Yeah. So.
Anybody got any more questions, you guys?
No, Brad just chimed in and he said, Eric, you need to bleep out that name.
Oh, there we go. We won't release it on the internet.
And then Marla said, Lance, you traded your beer for Pepsi.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and look I'm drinking
just
hot
tonight.
tea.
Because
it's just one of these days, my little bergamot.
It's been a long day.
Excuse me. Brad had somebody say, Julie was going to remind Lance to tell us about.
Yeah. The leasehold experience down at the
yes, great.
River.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Now I know what it's about too. So I'm getting all sucks. Excuse me, but so very interesting. Something that even the best of us have missed at times is the. You go in and you see a condominium. We know leaseholds, you have to get it approved by the lessor that you can do a vacation rental, short-term vacation rental in there. And it has to be in writing. And people look and they say, well, there's I go on Airbnb and there's 40 different places in here that all have short-term vacation rentals. So I'm sure I can get it. And they go and they buy the place. Well, there's a couple of complexes that have some weirdness going on. One of them is Leahy Villas. The Leahy Villas, about 80% of the place in there is fee simple, and about 20% is leasehold. And you kind of ask, well, how could that happen? So, this happened before I was a realtor, but I think the way it happened, I'm actually going to find out about that. But right now, what happened is it went from being a leasehold complex to a fee simple complex, and apparently 20% of the people couldn't afford or couldn't get approved for a loan or whatever to buy their lease out. So an investor came in and said, I'm going to buy out that 20%. Here you go, the money. And his whole sole intention, a pretty smart investment, is he's not going to renew those leases. So those leases end in a few years, I think 2029. And so you'll see those condos really cheap right now. They're like $100 and something thousand, where everything else is in there is $500 or $600 or $400,000. So people jump on it and they're like, well, I can get my return on my money and stay there if I buy it for $100 and something. That lessor is not allowing short-term vacation rentals, and it is up to them to make the final decision. So these people that are buying these are finding out after they own it.
bought it, yeah, and that's their investment strategy, was to try and rent it out, right?
Yeah, was to try to rent it out, and it can't happen. So there's Elite Villas, there's Kona West, not Kona West Wind, but Kona West, which is right down by the pier, and they're pretty affordable places. And those are two places that are zoned vacation rentals.
Because they're in the vacation zone, down near the water.
So they're totally zoned to get it done, but when it's a leasehold, you have to get the lessor's permission to do it, and they're not granting it. So
who gets in trouble for that when they figure this out?
I know complaints have been filed with the board of realtors. I don't know what's going to come down, but at the end of the day, if that person advertised that they could do short-term vacation rentals,
they're in trouble.
I don't know. It's something for the courts to figure out. But when I went to school, my teacher always said, I learned a lesson the hard way. Was I bought a refrigerator because I said it had one downstairs and it wasn't there, or I bought a stove, or I did this or that because of something I said in the listing. I don't know if somebody's going to be buying a condo.
Yeah.
Or what's going to be happening.
But also, I thought it was you, maybe it was Delenia. They said it was the buyer's responsibility to check out that information, to figure it out.
It is the buyer's responsibility. We give them everything, but if they've been told by the realtor that you could do it. Now, if the realtor never said that they could, and they assumed that because they saw all the vacation rentals on there, and they just wanted to get in and get it, and made that assumption, I would hope that it would be disclosed in the remarks that short-term rentals aren't allowed for that. But
so ask questions, you guys.
Yeah, ask questions.
And then
and verify and have them in writing.
And did you talk about the appraisal gap experience that you had? Yes.
No, we're dealing with an appraisal gap waiver. We gave it to our clients to think about. The appraisal came in less than even less than the gap was. So there's a gap of about 15 or 20 grand, and so what we got to look at is the seller doesn't have to sell it at that price. The buyer's only committed up to the price that they gave the waiver on, and there's a position that they're taking with the value of it versus what the seller's taking with the value of it. So I just presented it to our seller today. I told him to sleep on the numbers and look at things and get back to me tomorrow. So it's always good on a big decision like that to sleep on it. Don't make a rash decision. Don't even call me today. You can call me. We'll go over it. But I don't want your answer today. I want you to answer me in the morning. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will see, but we'll see how that plans out, because that's interesting. In that same particular complex, a one bedroom just came out at the same price our 2-bedroom is.
Nope.
So our client may just say, I'm going right back on the market because the stepping stones are there, and now if I get it reappraised in 30 days with a new buyer, I'm going to be well over appraisal.
Wow.
So it's a tough one. It's a tough one right
the
now.
nuances of the housing market.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, now Eric's giving us the wrap-up signal.
Wrap up.
So we will be back again at the end of... No, beginning of May. And
I'm going to be in Washington, D.C.
When? Beginning of May?
Yeah. I leave the end of this month. We go there to advocate for property rights in D.C., and I won't be back until mid-May. So
when mid-May?
Probably
like
May 10th or something, yeah.
Okay, so maybe the second week in May?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so maybe we'll bring you guys the second week, and we'll wrap up what happened in April.
Absolutely.
And then you guys can wish Eric a happy birthday, because his birthday will be the first week in May. But we'll be around for the TTT the end of this month, in 2
Yeah.
weeks on Thursday?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
good. So you guys, we will see you then. And in the meantime, if you guys, like I said, want to ask questions, please do so. And for you guys up on YouTube, don't forget who the team is here. And Eric too,
Yeah.
and all of our partners. And if you guys
All
want to
our
be part of
partners.
our 365 Ohana, you get to be in that Facebook group and also part of our newbies groups. And you have access to my books. And you get in for free when you join the 365 Ohana. And again, you can join the Ohana by going to movetohawaii365.com. And with that, we will say aloha.
Aloha, you guys.